Hi everyone, my name's Cass. Welcome to my channel and welcome to your full body Pilates Yoga Fusion. In this class, we will be pairing Pilates exercises that will target the upper, middle, and lower body, working our strength and stamina with some gentle yoga asanas that will allow us to soften, find some stillness, and release tension. You won't need any props for today's class, so when you're ready to begin, meet me lying down on your mat. Heel toe the feet out a little bit wider than the hips, just to allow the knees to fall in toward one another, maybe placing the hands on the belly, and just checking in with your breath as we begin our practice today. The next time you inhale, can you inhale a little bit deeper, really breathing into the belly? And as you exhale, can you lengthen that exhale, releasing everything down? Inhaling in, exhaling out. Inhale in, exhale, release. Let's heel toe the feet back in line with the hips, knees in line with the feet and the hips. And just start by finding this neutral position with the pelvis. Hip bones, pelvic bone, and belly button are all on one line, one even plane here. And we're just going to fold the right knee in, extend the toes up toward the sky. Take a moment to point and flex through the foot. Maybe take some ankle circles here. And then point through those right toes. We're going to lower the leg away from us and lift it back up. Lower it down and lift. Keeping that neutral space in the pelvis. One more down and up, and then we'll place the right foot down, lengthen the left leg up toward the sky, first pointing and flexing through the foot, circling through the ankle, and then with that foot pointed, we're going to lower the leg down and lift it up toward the sky. Imagine that leg growing longer as you lower it away from you and lift it back up. Lowering for 2 and lift and 1 and lift. Bend the knee, place the foot down. Now with those heels in line with the hips, we're going to start finding a few pelvic curls. So pressing the low back into the mat as you peel the spine up, lifting into your bridge. And reversing that motion, lowering down one bone at a time. Rocking it back to neutral and then imprinting that low back as you come back up. And lower it down. Moving with the breath, can you inhale as you peel the spine away, lifting the hips nice and high, standing into the feet. Exhale as you lower it down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, lower. We're going to find 2 more just like that. And on this last one here, we're going to hold at the top of the bridge. Making sure we're on one even line, thighs, hip bones, ribs tucking in. And we're just going to lift left heel away from the mat, place it back down, lift right heel, place it back down, alternating heel lifts here. keeping those hips nice and even. Pressing into the back of the arms. And the next time you lift the right heel away from the mat, maybe you just hold here or see if you can fold that knee in, lifting the toes. Extend the toes up toward the sky, and we'll do that lower and lift that we did before, still keeping those hips nice and even. Growing longer through those toes as they reach away from you. One more lower and lift. Can you hold? Slow pulse here, baby. Up and down, up and down. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the right knee, place the right foot down, roll down through the spine. Flexing that left foot, bring it to the top of the right knee. Hug that right thigh in toward your belly for your reclined pigeon pose. Allowing that right knee to open away from you. Maybe rocking from side to side if that feels good on the low back. Let's release, dropping the right foot down to the mat. Left foot comes down to meet it. We'll start with those pelvic curls straight up and straight down, just to re-center before we go to the other leg. Next time you peel your spine away, lifting up into the bridge, hold. Let's find that. Lift the left heel, place it down, lift the right heel, place it down, alternating sides. One more to each side. And then the next time you lift your left heel, hold it there, fold the knee in, extend the toes up toward the sky, and lengthen that leg as you lower it down and lift it up. Lower and lift. Standing nice and strong through that right leg, keeping the hips lifted if you can. One more lower. Lift and hold. Let's find that slow pulse, dropping the hips down an inch and up an inch. Keep reaching those left toes up toward the sky. 3, 2, 1. Bend the left knee, place the foot down, roll the hips down to the mat. Right foot is flexed, bring it to the top of the left knee. Hug that left thigh in, finding your reclined pigeon pose on this side. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Let's release, dropping both feet down to the mat. Finding some movement on the opposite end of the spine. Now we're going to interlace the fingers, bring them behind the base of the skull, elbows out wide, just in the periphery of your vision. And we'll start by curling up just through center, exhaling. Head, neck, and shoulders lift away from the mat, peeling up. Inhaling to lower down. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. Adding on from here. The next time you lift, we're going to keep it lifted and find a little opposite. Right palm reaches over toward that left thigh, back to center. Left hand reaches over to the right, center. Staying up this time as you come through middle if you can. You always have the option to reset, lowering your head back down and then lifting it back up. Let's go for 3, 2 more, and 1. Let's lower down, take a breath in and out. Then we're going to curl up, this time going side to side. So we're going to reach toward the left or toward the right heel with the right palm, back to center, left palm with left heel, and center. So a little side to side here, kind of like you're doing little baby side bends, just keeping the tips of those shoulders off the mat. And we have 3, 2, 1, landing in center, releasing back down. From here, step your feet, take 2 big steps away from you with your feet to give yourself some space. And then we're going to do an assisted roll up here. So reaching the palms, fingertips up toward the sky, palms facing in toward one another. We're going to curl head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, grabbing behind the thighs and lifting yourself all the way up to this C shape in the spine. Inhale, find a nice long spine, crown of the head reaches toward the sky. And then let's release, crossing at the ankles, coming over to tabletop pose. And we're going to find our cat and cow. So inhaling to drop the belly, stretching out those abs we just worked as the crown of the head reaches up toward the sky. Exhaling to round, press the mat away as you tuck the chin in toward the chest. Moving back and forth, following your breath here. On your next inhale, find a neutral spine, so right in between those two. Nice long line from the crown of the head through the hips. Let's extend the left leg out long, toes tucked under at the back of the mat. We're going to inhale, finding a dynamic thread the needle. Right hand reaches up toward the sky. Exhale, hover as you thread it through. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, thread it through. This time, release down, releasing the temple and the back of the arm down to the mat. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the shoulder and the upper back. Maybe you float those left toes away from the mat. Challenging your balance a bit here. And if you have those left toes lifted, see if you can keep them there as you press the left palm into the earth. Reach the right arm forward, finding your balancing table here. So taking a moment, feeling nice and centered through the torso. Right fingertips and left toes reaching away. And then we're just going to send the arm and leg out toward the sides and bring it back to center. So sending them out on the diagonal and bringing it back to the midline. Keeping that arm and leg nice and high in line with the hip and the shoulder. And we've got 3, center, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, keep the leg as it is. Bring the right palm down to the mat. Recenter yourself here. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, send the elbows toward the back of the mat as you lower into your tabletop press up. Inhale to press. Exhale, lower. We've got 2 and 1. We're going to hold this one down if you can. So maybe you stay up a little bit higher and then curl that back heel in toward the glute and extend it away. So foot is flexed, drag the heel in, extend it back. Bend and extend. Are your hips still even? Bend and extend for 4, 3, 2, and bend. Keep it bent. Press the arms back up. Hug the left knee in toward your nose to step it to the top of your mat. And we'll find a little release through that front of the hip here, coming forward into our lunge. If you'd like to stay right here and hold in stillness, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we're going to find some movement following the breath. Inhaling to send the hips forward into this grounded lunge. Exhaling, lengthen into your half splits. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, lengthen. This time we'll hold, releasing down over that left knee. Now lunge again. This time we're going to lift the fingertips up toward the sky. Anjaneyasana, our crescent moon. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And then let's sweep the fingers behind the low back. Interlace the fingers, finding a shoulder stretch here. Reaching those interlaced fingers away from you. Lifting the chest up toward the sky. And let's release the clasp of the hands. Bring the palms back down to the mat. Hug the left knee in, coming back to our tabletop pose. We'll just take a round of cat and cow to reset the spine before we do the other side. And then from that neutral spine, let's send right leg out long, toes tucked under to the back of the mat. For our dynamic thread the needle, inhale, reach the left hand high. Exhale, thread it through and hover. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, thread and hover. Inhale, reach. Exhale, thread it through. This time release down. Bringing the left temple and the back of the arm down to the mat, holding here. Maybe floating those right toes away. And if your right toes are lifted, see if you can keep them there as you press into the right palm, coming into your balancing table. So taking a moment to feel strong and sturdy here, left fingertips, right toes reaching away from one another. Inhale. Exhale, send it out on the diagonal. Inhale, center. Exhale, out. Back to center. And away. And in. We've got 4 more. And 2. 1 more out to the side. Back to center. Bring that left palm down. Here's those press-ups. Exhaling to lower. Inhale, press. And lower. And press. For 3. And 2. This one we hold, so maybe you don't go quite as low, and we're gonna drag that right heel in toward the glute and press it away. Bend the right knee and extend. Are you still in the middle? Not leaning over too far to the left. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Then bend that knee, keep it bent. Press through the arms, hug the right knee in toward the nose, stepping it to the front of your mat. Let's find that nice grounded lunge here with that breath to movement. Inhaling for your lunge. Exhale, lengthen into that half splits. And lunge. And lengthen. Following your breath as you move. One more lunge. And as you exhale, lengthen into your half splits. This one will hold, releasing down over that right knee. Then let's bend into that right knee, coming back into our lunge, lifting the fingertips toward the sky this time, Anjaneyasana, crescent moon. And then we'll sweep the hands behind the low back, either interlacing the fingers like we did before, or maybe grabbing opposite elbows, just seeing which feels better for you. Either way, you're opening that heart toward the sky. And let's release that chest expansion, bring the palms down to the mat. Hug the right knee in, send it back to tabletop pose. This time, tuck the toes under, extend through the legs, lifting the hips toward the sky, finding your downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths here to walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. And then we've got our last little bit of strength to finish up here. So from downward facing dog, let's roll forward into plank pose. You always have the option to drop the knees down to the mat here if you need to. Otherwise, separate the feet a little bit, slightly wider than hips width distance. Find that nice long plank. And then we're going to reach the left hand forward. Open into side plank, sending that left hand up to the sky. Circle it back to the back of the mat and around back to center. Okay, so we're doing this little arm circle. Right arm forward, up to the sky, sending it back, back to center. So you're finding this arm circle as we come into our side plank and back to center. Right arm forward, open up, circle it around, back to center. This time we're going to open into our left side plank, or side plank with the left hand reaching high. Hold here, dropping this right knee down if you need to. Otherwise, in keeping lifted, we're going to find a side bend, pressing the hips up and coming back down. 2 more like that. Press and lower and lift and lower. This time, bring that right knee down if it's not there already. Drop your hips down. We're going to find our revolved head to knee pose here. So left leg is out long, right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. And then find a nice side bend here. Reaching the right fingertips toward those left toes. Keeping your chest open toward the sky. Breathing into the right side of the body. Coming back up, step that left foot to the outside of the right thigh for a seated twist. Taking an inhale to hug that left knee in toward your belly. Exhale, twisting over to the left. Unwind your twist. Make your way back into tabletop pose, and we'll go to the other side. So first, finding your downward facing dog. Take a round of breath here. Rolling forward into plank pose. This time, let's start by reaching that right arm forward, up to the sky. Circle it around and down. Left hand forward. Open into side plank, circle it around. One more on the right and on the left. Actually, I was kidding. One more on the right. And then we're going to hold, or with the right arm reaching, we're going to hold with that right hand reaching up toward the sky, finding those 3 side bends, lifting the hips and bringing them back down. And lift and lower. One more lift. Back to center. Left knee comes down, hips come down. Let's find that revolved head to knee on the right. Right leg is out long. Right palm or forearm coming to the inside of the leg as you find that nice side bend. Coming back up through center, let's step the right foot to the outside of the left thigh for our seated twist. Hugging that right knee in as you inhale, exhaling, twisting over to the right. And release. Unwind your twist. Coming back over to hands and knees. This time just send it back to child's pose, rounding through the spine, releasing the torso down, resting the forehead down on the mat, or maybe stacking your palms. Let's walk our hands over off the left side of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, come through center. Walk the hands over off the right side of the mat. Inhale. Releasing, come back through center. Walk your hands forward. So coming up, lifting the hips into tabletop, we're going to take 2 big steps forward with the palms of the hands and then sink the chest down toward the mat for our puppy pose. Keeping your hips over your knees, maybe bringing your forehead down to the mat if it reaches, and maybe bringing hands to prayer, bending the elbows and allowing the thumbs to rest on the base of the skull, adding an extra stretch into the triceps here. Let's release, pressing into the forearms, coming back onto the palms of the hands, and just come over to a comfortable seated position to finish your practice in. Find a place where you can find that nice tall spine, crown of the head lifting high. Allow the shoulders to release down. Just feel your hips, shoulders, and crown of the head all stacked one on top of the other. And come back to that attention to the breath we had in the beginning of our practice, taking a nice deep inhale in and a long exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. And take a moment before you leave the mat to thank your body for all that it does for you, whether you're on your mat or off of it, throughout the rest of your day. I thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope you feel strong and calm and ready to take on whatever the rest of your day holds. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.